Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, we are joined by radio icons Jody and Bender for the whole show as they sit down with us to chat about hot topics, music news, and we're even going to play some games.
Plus, we're chatting with Jonathan Batista, who just made history as the first Black principal dancer at the Pacific Northwest Ballet.
And the folks from Bateau stopped by to make some of their delicious steak dishes.
Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're so excited to have you. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Maria Garcia, and I was just bullying our new guests into dancing.
You got to try at least, you know? We like to dance.
If you point and shimmy, somebody has to do something. We have some very special guests on today's show. Our co-hosts right now, we have Jody and Bender from Mornings on 95.7.
Hey.
Hello.
You did bully me.
It really was. It was
Dance.
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 But I was smiling, so it was with kindness.
And I did it. I'm happy to dance for 5 seconds, and then that's it.
That's all we needed.
Well, we get to talk to you, you know, through the screens a couple times a week, but it's so nice to have you here in person.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, for anybody who hasn't heard your show, what can they expect?
No one falls into that category.
No, they all hear it.
Let's see. Well, obviously, news. Time Flies, his feature where we talk about everything that happened in history up till now.
On this date, so today would be February 2nd,
Yeah.
do all that stuff. It's all done to the music.
Puget Sound Showdown, which is the ultimate in pitting the north of the Puget Sound against the south of the Puget Sound in trivia.
Which you guys will be doing later this morning.
Yeah,
We're very
here
excited.
we will.
Very excited to see
Don't
how
worry.
smart you guys are.
Oh, no.
I'm medium
I hope
smart.
it's pop culture themed.
Pop
A lot of
culture,
it. A lot of it.
Like recent pop culture,
general
music.
knowledge, presidents on money.
Oh, no.
You'll be fine.
What's cash? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
We
be
live in a
fine.
digital world now.
Well, guys, let's talk about some topics here. It is official. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow early this morning in Pennsylvania, predicting another 6 weeks of winter. And this is actually the third year. Yeah, boo to that. Yeah, this is the third year in a row that the groundhog has spotted his shadow.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Phil has predicted a longer winter more than 100 times since 1887. And of all the times he's predicted whether spring will come early or late, he's only been right 39% of the time. Why do we keep listening to this guy?
Jody?
It's a great question, and I really think that we need to revisit the entire tradition. Let the groundhog live a wonderful life in the forest, take off the top hats. Let's start with a different holiday, like focus maybe on Arbor Day or something else less exciting. We can get a ferret or whatever people want.
Ferret.
Do you know over the years, since, 100 years they've been doing this, whatever, 130 years, 500,000 people show up
Oh, my gosh.
nearly every year
Wow.
to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. What is there to do?
There's probably like 2 delis.
They pull the rodent out of the box. He's got his tux and top hat on. He reads a scroll. They make it up, which when you think about it, it's not the rodent that's wrong.
It's the guy.
It's the guy
Yeah.
or whoever writes the scroll.
Now, the rodent is not the one with the suit. It's the guy.
Correct.
Okay.
Although they should put the rodent in the
That would be
jacket
cuter.
and the top
The
hat.
rodent is likely horrified.
I think so.
You know, wants to be done being held up.
You know all the people there can't even see him too, right? There's
Too
so
many people.
people.
Yeah. Let's leave Punxsutawney Phil alone
Leave him
for the
alone.
future.
Yeah.
Let him be.
All right, well, I know that you guys obviously big music fans, so we got to talk about this next. Ticketmaster, are they actually ready for the demand of Beyonce's world tour? So we were talking about this yesterday, and she's going to be coming to Lumen Field in September. Those pre-sale tickets go on sale February 6th, and Ticketmaster says they're ready. Okay. They're supposed to be able to handle it better than, when they really fumbled the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, they are registering fans now, saying that this should be able to streamline the process, but that's not going to guarantee you a ticket. So if demand is too high, instead, they're going to do a lottery-style system, and then if you are able to get your hands on the tickets, I mean, they're not going to be cheap. So how much would you be willing to pay?
I mean, I like Beyonce, but I'm not as hardcore about her as I am about some other artists. I would probably pay like $125
Didn't
to
they
see
do
Beyonce.
the lottery thing for Taylor Swift?
They
and that got
did.
screwed
You're
up?
right. You're right.
And they screwed up John Mayer yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh, my
unfortunately,
gosh.
people just yesterday were saying Ticketmaster blew it too. They're not going to be ready for Beyonce.
They're not.
There's kind of no way they can, and everybody's going to have to be ready to pay inflated prices if you want to go, which I do.
Can they
Yeah.
do baby steps though? Because tomorrow is going to be Bryan Adams and Joan Jett at Climate Pledge.
Yeah.
Tickets go on sale tomorrow at noon. So
Okay.
maybe baby steps, if they can take care of that demand, then they can. No.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We're not
I've lost
trusting
all-
them right now, you know?
Yeah, I've lost all hope after the Taylor Swift debacle. I just don't know. I want to let
you're
someone
still
else
sore
handle it.
about it.
I am.
But we're in the media. We might be able to score some extra, maybe some.
Think? Wait, how do you
Don't
do
make
that?
promises you can't deliver on. We cannot
I'm
get
not-
Taylor
I'm not
Swift
promising
tickets.
Did you
anything, I'm
all
just
hear that
saying.
Bender was taking us all to
I
Taylor
heard that.
Swift?
He was
That's
just
what
like,
I heard.
Yeah. I will see you July 22nd or
Done.
23rd.
Look, I'll pull it off. Jody will tell you, I'll pull it off. I'll get
Okay.
it done.
I'll get her
don't
water,
challenge
whatever
him.
she wants.
Yeah. Do not
Challenge
challenge him.
accepted.
One time I said I would like to have an 8-foot dreidel in studio for Hanukkah, and the next day there was an 8-foot dreidel in studio. It's not the same as Taylor Swift, but
Is it pretty
No, it was
close?
more difficult.
he does like a challenge.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
anyway,
like
good
it.
luck getting the Beyonce ticket.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
looking forward to it, Bender. Just,
Yeah,
I'll give you my
here.
email
I'll work on
during
it.
the break.
I
It's
got
on
it.
tape. It's on tape.
I got
Okay,
it.
I hate this next story so much. So Netflix finally released details on how they plan to crack down on password sharing starting in March. When someone signs into your Netflix account from a device that is not part of your primary location, or if your account is accessed persistently from another device, that device may be blocked from the streaming service. So say, for instance, you're not at your primary location, you're on vacation, you log into your account on a new device, and you're gonna get a temporary code that allows you to use that device for 7 days in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quite the delivery and description.
Thank you.
Pretty smart.
And initially, how do you think you'd get around it?
I
VPN?
don't know. I'm just going to look on Reddit to see if there's any suggestions or
Just do a
solutions here.
VPN and have it be from the.
Sometimes that doesn't work, though.
Yeah.
I've definitely tried that with YouTube TV before, and it
I had
does
to
not
do that
work.
when I lived overseas because you
Yeah.
couldn't get all the same content. So I would. Somebody I knew would VPN and say it was the United States.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually pretty smart, I think, because they started this pilot program in Latin America. I'm sure you guys are aware. And they started charging people, or they were going to charge people $4 per person who's using your password. So everybody started kind of complaining about it, but they thought, all right, well, I guess that'll be okay. And I maybe, hypothetically, have a couple people on my password. Hi, Mom.
Unrelated.
that's
Hi,
sweet,
Mom.
though.
And remember, though, we
Sure.
learned last
Sure.
week that she won't pay the extra $4 for her mom.
No, I said I would because
You
it's
were
my
having
mom.
problems with it,
I said
though.
it's my mom and my friend, and now my Netflix was going to be $30, but I was going to do it. Anyway, this is actually really smart because Netflix knows that we don't want to be charged more. So they're not charging us more. They're just saying, hey, if you can't be in two places at once, then you can't have your Netflix go there.
Right.
And I kind of like it for them. I mean, I don't like it for my mom.
We did a deep dive this morning. We don't think that you can get around it because it's all
I don't think
IP
you
address
can.
now.
Yeah. I don't think you'll be able to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know a lot about VPNs, but doesn't that get around that?
No, because you have to connect to the home Wi-Fi network. It's the whole
science.
thing.
Look, here's the deal.
Science
If you've
and
got a
technology.
15, 14, 15-year-old at home who's really good at hacking into things, let everybody else know exactly how to get around this, because there's got to be a way.
Let's
Studio
hope.
13 in no way endorses it.
Of course not. Of course not. Netflix
my
tweeted
bad.
5 years ago.
Wow, the rules here are so much more strict than in radio.
5 years ago, they tweeted, "Love is sharing a password."
Yes.
What happened, Netflix?
There's a lot of people who need to start paying up is what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And remember, we
Seriously.
also learned last week, you guys are the moochers off of somebody else's password. We're the
I
ones
do
that are
admit to
doling it
that.
out.
That's right.
Okay.
I've offered to not be a moocher, though. I've offered to pay my friend, and I've also been the owner of certain streaming services that I've shared as well.
But
too.
there are family accounts, and that's what I have.
And your
Family
friends
accounts.
are your chosen family.
Yeah, try it with
family.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus. Nice try.
We can justify this all day.
All right. Well, we do have a new study to talk about showing that most young adults aren't really interested in the responsibilities that go with adulting. The majority of Gen Zers and millennials, 63% of them saying that they are just burned out because they're having to act like adults, you know? But some young people say they actually don't know how to do certain adult things. So we're talking about 17% of people saying that they don't know how to write a check. 29% say they don't know how to change a diaper. It's pretty self-explanatory, my friend. And 46% say they have no idea how to tie a tie. I don't, but I don't wear one, so.
Yeah, I feel like that one's understandable. Do you wear a
Ties
tie?
easy. I didn't wear one because I wanted to be casual.
Yeah.
You look so casual.
Very
Okay.
casual.
I know how to tie a tie.
Okay.
Diapers, obviously.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. But writing a check, I mean, everybody pays everything online.
You know, it's funny, I just wrote a check the other day, and it's been so long since I wrote a check that I put the date in the box where you put the amount, because that's out of practice I was. So
Yeah.
I ripped that one up, and then I did it wrong again, and I had to rip that one up. So, yeah, I mean, you still have to, at some point, write a check.
The hardest
My
thing.
plumber.
The hardest thing for me is opening mail.
Why is that hard?
I don't know. I basically do it quarterly. I feel like you get so much junk mail and you have to decide what you're going to keep and file it away. You have to make all these decisions when you're opening your mail, or they just send you a bunch of stuff that you have to recycle or put in the trash. It's so annoying. That's
I'm so
like my
sorry
worst
that you feel
adulting
the
thing.
pressure about the mail.
I really
I think
hate
you
it.
just have anxiety, Carly.
I think I might.
I'm sorry, can
It's
you
so
hear them
annoying.
laughing at you in the control room? That's weird.
We can
tough.
talk you through this.
Yeah. Okay.
You keep nothing, recycle everything,
Yeah.
pay all your bills online.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
everything's on auto pay, so I'm like, why are you sending me things?
I know,
here?
it is just trash at
They
that
still
point.
want you
It
to
is.
see
Yeah.
it for some reason.
I know.
Do you know how to address an envelope?
I do. And I wrote a check like a week or two ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Writing checks is good.
It's a dying art.
What's your
but-
adulting struggle?
I hate doing laundry, and there is an embarrassing pile of dirty clothes and then a different pile of clean clothes in my house, but I know which piles are which, so I feel like, let me live my life. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Okay, let's talk about this, because one bride in China is going viral after inviting her ex-boyfriends to her wedding so that they could see what they were missing out on. And she didn't just invite them, she actually had a whole table dedicated to her past relationships and, of course, their new plus ones. So the video surfacing online shows them passing wine bottles around the table with a sign that says, "Table of ex-boyfriends."
Oh my.
No. I mean, right out of the gate, I was married 4.5 years ago. And I can tell you, just from the standpoint of having to pay for every single one of them, why would you do what, for a bit, for some shtick?
Yeah.
You're looking at how many extras were at the table? 10?
A table is
Few,
usually
yeah.
10.
Okay, first of
yeah.
all, wow, she went through a lot of people
Yeah.
before she found Mr. Right.
Well, wait a second.
She was
But it's their plus
Was it-
ones, too.
Oh, so it's probably like 5 people.
Why would they even go?
That's my question.
That's the pettiest move ever,
Yeah.
to be like, hey, come see what you're
But they
missing.
did. They all went.
And brought their girlfriends,
Yeah.
maybe for a good dinner. Like maybe her.
They just needed a good meal.
Maybe her meal was an amazing buffet.
Maybe. I feel like there's also nowadays this ridiculous pressure to be grown up about it or
Yeah.
civil. And I mean, I think you should be, as kind as you can possibly be if you're going through a breakup and all that. But I'm also not required to be your bestie after the relationship ends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think. Is it hilarious? Yes. But I feel like maybe it was also an attempt to show, like, look at how above it I am.
Right. But I feel like she's just not ready to get married. This is happening, right?
Well,
If
he
you're
accepted it.
If you're still that consumed
Yeah.
with your exes, that's a red flag,
Yeah,
for,
it's a
the,
red flag.
for the groom.
Yeah. I
Was
think
it
so.
just the bride, by the way, that had all of her exes?
That's
like
a good
the
question.
groom
As
far as we know.
didn't have any of his ex-girlfriends show up?
Well, he didn't put it on Twitter anyway.
I wonder if he had a couple drinks and then went around and asked everybody why they broke up with her and got some valuable information.
no.
I mean, at some
Like
point.
Too
its
late
own
at that
section of
point.
special toasts?
Yeah.
That would have been great.
All right, guys, the party is not over. Still ahead, we've got some more hot topics, including should people be filming themselves doing some good deeds? Is it vanity or is it inspiring? That's coming up next.
Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations is coming to the Paramount Theater right now till February 5th, so you have about 4 days. Ain't Too Proud is the electrifying new smash hit Broadway musical that follows the Temptations' extraordinary journey from the streets of Detroit to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nominated for 12 Tony Awards and the winner of the 2019 Tony Award for Best Choreography, Ain't Too Proud tells the thrilling story of brotherhood, family, loyalty, and betrayal as the group's personal and political conflicts threaten to tear them apart during a decade of civil unrest in America. See this incredible show while it's here in Seattle at the Paramount Theater for just about 4 more days by visiting stgpresents.org. Now, back to the show.
Thanks for that, Bill. All right, we are living
Bill,
in
nice job.
Give him some love.
Yeah.
You know, Bill needs to read those like you do your movie previews. Has to be much more dramatic. Throw a little sound effect
more
in there.
drama.
Yeah.
A little more
Have him like really
feeling.
get into character.
Maybe next time.
Did y'all hear when Bill said he'll cry next time?
Good.
Look, we're living in the age of social media where everything can be documented, you know, and we talked about this YouTuber the other day. His username is Mr. Beast, and he recently became the most subscribed person on YouTube. You told me that. I didn't know that. Yeah. And he's earning as much as $2 million per month in ad revenue. His newest video is entitled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time, and it shows him paying off the corrective eye procedures for 1,000 people, which is obviously great. But now some people on social media are wagging their finger at him, saying that the YouTuber putting that video up is really just exploiting the stories of these people for attention, and that if you're being truly charitable, then maybe you should just do it, not post about it. So what do we think about this?
I mean, I definitely think the best thing is to do it anonymously, but he is a content creator and he helped 1,000 people be able to see again. And I feel like I even learned, I talked about this earlier this week, I didn't know this before, that half of all people suffering from blindness could have that fixed with a 10-minute surgery. So now it's like, let's get this fixed. And I think he just raised awareness. I think that helps people out a little bit more.
Who are the people that have a problem with it? And are they themselves doing any charity work on their own?
That's fair.
Good point.
Why on earth? Why, like, who cares
Yeah.
if somebody's mad and are they really? Is he really exploiting people? And I mean, the dude paid for 1,000 people to get the procedure done.
Yeah.
If anything, he should be celebrated. And
Yeah.
anybody who's trying to tear him down, I would love to know their backstory and history and see how charitable and kind they are.
You know, furthermore, maybe some people are just hearing about Mr. Beast now, but my son is 12, and when he was 9 and 10, he used to follow him on YouTube, and he's been doing this for years, absolutely doing this for years, not just with the eye surgeries, but giving money away. And I've seen him do really kind things to a lot of people, and it's his brand. And if your brand is giving away money to people who need it, and in the meantime you're getting more followers on social media, come on. Like, let it go.
And he said that he talked to a lot of other YouTubers, and other YouTubers immediately said yes, they wanted to help too. So I feel like this is very much a net positive.
Yeah,
You know?
it has to be.
And you
Yeah.
can't make everybody happy, so just like whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's talk about Jenna Ortega. Just because she has millions of followers and a record-breaking Netflix series does not mean that she doesn't feel insecure sometimes. So the Wednesday actress recently appeared on Penn Badgley's podcast. She opened up about the lifelong impacts of being bullied. Ortega says she was called gorilla arms in middle school, and because of that, she still shaves her arms every single day. She said, quote, "If there's even stubble, if there's anything, I get really insecure about it." So let's talk about it.
That makes me so sad. It makes me so sad, the weight we carry because of things that happen in our childhood. Because obviously she's talented and she's beautiful, but it really just goes to show that you never really know what somebody's going through, you know?
For sure.
Well, and look, it's also one of those things, especially as an adult, being able to look, and an adult. I've got 3 kids, wide-ranging ages. I've got a 23-year-old son, I've got a 17-year-old daughter, and I've got an almost 2-year-old daughter. And to have them growing up in the world that we're in with social media, with everything, whether you like it or not, is under a microscope. Same thing with your son, where everything, it doesn't matter what they do, they're in school, doing extracurricular activities, doing sports, whatever it is. Somebody's got a camera rolling, somebody's got pictures going on, everything's being posted across all pages, and everybody's always on edge. And then when you realize the effects that it has long term, it's terrifying. And there's not a whole lot you as a parent can do about it.
I feel very lucky that I've lived in a world where I know what it was like before social media.
Right.
You know?
I couldn't imagine
We're the
now.
last generation, I feel like now kids today, all they know is like if someone raises up their phone, they have to pose or they have to be ready to perform or know that
Yeah.
like potentially like thousands or millions of people could see it.
Think of all the things we got away with because there was no social
Right,
media.
that's true. I'm so glad.
The year of 1992 to 2000.
Beautiful time.
What happened in those years, Jody?
She doesn't
no
remember.
record of it, and I couldn't tell you. But yeah, you know, I think that one of the things that's great about Jenna coming out and saying something about it is that she's arguably one of the biggest stars right now because Wednesday was so huge for Netflix. I think my mother watched that one on my account.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's her responsibility to talk about how bullying had affected her negatively and how maybe she still suffers from some insecurities and some anxieties. And I think that that does a great job of letting people see, well, she's a huge star and she felt bad about it and she's talking about it. So, you know, sort of levels the playing field, and maybe somebody might watch that and think like, maybe I should shut my mouth and not be so rude to other people.
Yeah. Or if they're being bullied,
Right.
they can think, wait, I could end up becoming someone like Jenna Ortega too.
Right.
Like, don't let that crush you, you know?
Yeah.
You should just be spreading kindness. Okay, coming up, we are chatting with Tremel Tillman from Severance about the hit Apple TV Plus show.
And oh my goodness, a little later we are playing Puget Sound Showdown with Jody and Bender. I am fully terrified, but you all are going to laugh. You all are going to laugh.
Don't be nervous. It's fine.
You'll be fine.
What's the prize, though?
Don't gotta wait today.
I'm trying to leave.
No. It's all part of the process. If you want to spin around and head back in, that should be that. Hey there.
What the hell?
That is a clip from Severance. It was nominated for Best Ensemble in a Drama Series at the 2023 SAG Awards. Joining me today, Tremel Tillman. Hi, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning. So you're on this really successful show, but I know you were originally studying to become a surgeon. What was the moment you kind of decided, no, I need to go all in, I need to become an actor?
Well, I was at Xavier University in New Orleans, Louisiana, and studying biology pre-med to become an orthopedic surgeon. And I was in chem lab class, and chem lab is about 3 hours long, and I was bored to tears. And I was sitting around all these students, my classmates who love this stuff. They love the nomenclature, balancing equations, and so forth and so on. And while I was doing well in class, was doing really great grade-wise, I just, the most exciting part of Chem Lab was watching the reactions change colors from clear to blue to purple to pink and back to clear. And I was like, well, this is fun. This is exciting. And little did I realize that, you know, it's theatrics. And that was what was engaging for me. So I realized that in that moment, you know, I need to do what makes me happy if I have the opportunity. And this just wasn't it. And it's funny, Carly, because there are so many of my colleagues from Xavier University who are now doctors, and I was doing better in their classes. I was doing better in their classes, and now they're doctors, you know, and I'm the actor, you know. So it's a wild ride. You never know.
I think you made the right choice. And props to you. I couldn't even make it. I could barely make it through high school chemistry. I also love hearing about people's survival jobs on the way to the top. Like, I've done all kinds of stuff earlier in my career. I worked at a spa. I delivered balloons. What kind of survival jobs did you do while trying to make it? And what did you kind of learn through that time?
There was a time I was a cater waiter. There was a time I worked for a nonprofit organization in the accounting and controls division of the headquarters of that organization. I was a development coordinator in charge of asking people for money. I was also an abstinence educator at one time, and worked a lot of nonprofit organization jobs in between. And for me, it was all about humanity and understanding the human condition. And that also was fuel for me in crafting characters. One thing that is important to me is breathing life in the humanity of any character that I play, and always constantly searching for that.
I love that. It seems like you took so much away from that. Wait, abstinence educator? I didn't know that was a job.
Yes, I was. That was a job. And I was in Mississippi when I did that. I was an abstinence educator for middle school and high school students in Mississippi, where there was a high level of STD and pregnancy rates at that time. And I was horrible at it, Carly. I was horrible as an abstinence educator.
Well, it all pointed
But the kids love me. They
It
just
all
love
pointed
me.
you to where you're meant to be. We can't
Yes.
wait for the next season of
Yes.
Severance. Termel Tillman, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Carly.
All right, coming up, we are sitting down to chat with Jonathan Batista about his historic run as the first Black principal dancer at the Pacific Northwest Ballet. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome back. We are celebrating Black History Month and honoring the incredible people in our community. Jonathan Batista made history as the first Black principal dancer in the Pacific Northwest Ballet.
Yeah, he's going to be performing this weekend at McCaw Hall in Seattle. So joining us to share more about his journey, welcome Jonathan Batista.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for coming on our show.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're so accomplished. Tell us about the moment that you fell in love with ballet.
Oh my goodness, my parents really just had me doing lots of things. I studied martial arts, and from that I went to sports, and one day I found myself in dance. And I found myself in ballroom dancing, and then ballet happened. And I think I really fell in love with it when I started traveling and I started experiencing new cultures, new people, and what they really represented.
That's amazing. And, you know, just before we started recording here, I was telling you that I lived in Oklahoma City when you danced for that ballet company. And, you know, you really are just such a joy to watch. How were you able to build that presence and that confidence that you display so wonderfully?
Thank you. It's a world that you go in and you're allowed to just become vulnerable and allow yourself to just be that role, right? That prince role. And also it was a dream come true for me to become a principal dancer with the Oklahoma City Ballet at first and play prince roles and things that I really dreamed of when I was a kid.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your journey. I know you've lived in so many cool places and been a part of so many productions. Tell us about the journey to get here.
Oh, absolutely. So I started dancing in Brazil and in Rio de Janeiro, and then I got a scholarship for Miami City Ballet at first. But I decided to move to England, and I joined the English National Ballet School. I also went through the Royal Ballet School, also in London. And once I graduated, I joined Miami City Ballet, and I did Miami City Ballet, the National Ballet of Canada, came back to the United States to join the Boston Ballet, Cincinnati Ballet, Milwaukee Ballet, Oklahoma City Ballet, and today I'm here with the Pacific Northwest Ballet.
Well, that seems like a good way to get to know a whole bunch of different places.
Absolutely.
What place did you love that you didn't expect to love?
Oh, yes, and I didn't even mention, I loved Switzerland.
Ooh.
It was just beautiful, all the mountains and everything, the culture itself. And I also liked Germany, a little bit of Munich.
You and Maria have a lot in common. She lived in Germany
I also
too.
lived in Germany just for a year. I was just tooling around. I didn't do anything so impressive. But, you know, talk to me about what it is that you want people to know and love about ballet, because they're big fans like me, but I think some people just don't go and try and watch.
Absolutely. I think it's a beautiful art form, and ballet has so many languages to it as well. You can express yourself as you desire, and you have that room to be yourself. Especially here with the Pacific Northwest Ballet, we have so many voices when it comes to choreographers, Black choreographers who comes from different backgrounds. We just had Mr. Dwight Roden from Complexions Ballet Company, choreograph a new piece for the company, and it was fantastic to just experience that. And also with the choreographer's vision, just choreographing on you, on who you are as an individual, it was just one of the most special things ever. And also ballet is accessible for all. You can come to Pacific Northwest Ballet School and take open classes.
Oh,
and
cool.
so we do offer those possibilities for all people to join us.
Nice. I would have to take a lot of classes. I'm very clumsy. Go ahead.
We're just so polite here. What does it mean to you to be the first Black principal dancer for Pacific Northwest Ballet?
Wow. I mean, when I heard it the first time, it was just, I was at a loss for words because it was just that moment, that I dreamed about. And also, it took me back to England when I first saw the first Black principal dancer with the Royal Ballet, Carlos Acosta, a Black dancer himself. And when I looked at him, I saw myself on stage, and I really understood. And that moment informed me that it was possible, because it really takes representation for you to understand what you can become. And now I understand that it is possible to become a quarter ballet in a ballet company. It's possible to become a soloist and one day get to principal dancer.
Yes.
So it was just such a special moment. It was a community celebration, and it was a moment for history as well.
Have you ever had a chance to tell that person what they meant to you and inspiring you?
Well, I was in the room with that person. I couldn't say much. You know, I was just so inspired.
Yeah.
That is still to these days one of my dance heroes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, before we leave, I have to show you this picture. This is one of the reasons I'm such a huge fan. I was a little baby ballerina.
Oh my goodness.
This is me in high school, and I danced my whole childhood. And I'll tell you, I had a lot of fun. No great talent, but it was beautiful. It was fun. And I was very sad when that time in my life ended for me. So I just am so happy when I see people who get to keep living that dream. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That was beautiful. Might I suggest that was Swan Lake?
Yes, I was the Black Swan.
There you go.
Nice. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. You can catch his upcoming show, Giselle, at McCaw Hall. We've got a link to all those details up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
All right, coming up, Jody and Bender are back, and oh boy, we are playing Puget Sound Showdown. I'm so nervous. We will see if we make some complete fools of ourselves, okay?
Yeah. And then later, we're going to be cooking up some delicious food with our friends. We'll be right back.
Don't gotta wait today.
Hey, welcome back to Studio 13 Live. I would be Bender. That's Jody. We're taking over.
Yeah.
We're going to play the game that we typically play every morning at 7:45 on 95.7 The Jet. It's called Puget Sound Showdown. It's just a friendly game. It's
friendly.
Pitting the North against the South. Maria is very nervous.
They're both nervous.
I have flop sweat. It's great.
Well, listen to have him explain to you how to play so that you know.
Very easy. We're just going to throw out the questions.
Okay.
Typically on the air, you have to buzz in with your name.
Right.
Because it's radio. We don't
Yep.
have a clicker
Yeah.
and lights
Yep.
and everything else. I mean, look at this fancy setup.
This is so
great.
fancy.
Let's see how fast you guys are.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
Right
Go.
now,
All right.
I'm slow on purpose, baby.
Yeah, she gave you that one.
Maria has a master's degree. Just know.
I went to public school.
Yeah.
It's gonna make losing that much work.
It'll be the North versus the South.
Yep.
We'll throw out the questions. We'll alternate.
Okay.
First person to 10 wins. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, you can
Let's
do it.
go.
Don't worry, you can do it.
Here we go. Buzz in when you know. In which continent is the country of Egypt found? Maria?
Africa.
Very good.
Atta girl. What is the name of the pirate in Peter Pan?
Maria?
Captain Hook.
Yes. Which female singer released a song in 2013 called Wrecking Ball? Maria?
I'm so excited.
You got to get on
Hold
that.
on a second.
know.
Is it working? It is working. I'm sorry.
faster than
I'm
me.
sorry.
Okay.
Because you can't seem to get
It is
one.
3-0.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you're representing the South. Okay. Here you go. What NBA team plays
Forget it.
in Canada?
Forget it.
Maria?
Toronto Raptors.
Yes!
Harley!
How many milligrams are in a gram? Carly?
100?
Nope.
10?
Nope.
Oh, math.
Cameraman! 1,000! Very good.
Here we go. It's
What's the score? Is it 4-0? 4-0.
4-0
Okay.
for the North.
Oh, wait, you got to reset it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo and his friends travel around in what vehicle?
VW bus.
No.
The Mystery Machine?
Yes!
Oh.
5-0.
VW bus, though?
No, I think it's like
Okay.
a Dodge van. It's creepier.
I thought it was a
Creepy Dodge
VW.
van.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town where the Flintstones live? Oh, for the love of God.
Oh, they're too young. Oh,
Maria?
No, I cheated. Bedrock. I was gonna say Rocksylvania. That was
Rocksylvania from the one with the master's degree. Rocksylvania.
all right.
What is it, 5-0?
5-0.
Okay.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Here we go. What canned meat was introduced in 1937?
Carly.
Spam.
Hey, girl,
Yes.
you're on the board. With
I lived in
Spam.
Korea. Spam is still popping there.
There you go.
Yeah, really?
What
Yeah.
local company's slogan is a better way to go? Oh.
Don't-
car toys. Very
I was
good.
never gonna get
Better
that.
way to go. All right.
Still
here-
5-0.
It's 5-0.
5-1. I'm sorry, Carly. I'm sorry.
Don't take points
I'm
away.
sorry.
5-1.
Okay.
Here's the dreaded math question.
Oh, gosh.
No.
What's 8 squared?
Carly.
64.
Very good.
I was trying to do the math.
Which TV show follows the lives of Jay Pritchett and his family? Mariah.
Modern Family.
Very good.
we
6-1. 6-2.
Thank you.
Who developed the first AC electricity in 1892? It's a little random.
Wow. Carly.
Thomas Edison?
Nope.
Great guess,
Mariah,
though.
you can steal it.
Some guy.
Some guy, unfortunately, we can't accept that.
Albert Einstein?
We're looking for Tesla.
Tesla. Yeah, I should have known.
Ethan Hunt is from what movie franchise? Ooh. Anybody?
Never heard of it.
Born?
We're looking for Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. We got only like 45 seconds left. All right, so you know what? First person to 8, 7. What do you have? 6?
We're gonna come back and do some more.
I didn't know that part 2 was going to be part 2 of this particular game.
Yeah, well, it did take a while. How about one more question?
One more
Okay.
for
And then-
all.
okay.
That one wins.
And then
Ready?
we'll come back
For it
for a
all?
quicker game.
For it all.
Okay.
What's the postal abbreviation for Missouri?
M.O.
M-O.
I went to college in Missouri.
Okay, we got time. Was it 6-3? Who became president after JFK's assassination?
Oh, I know this. It is the really nice one.
The really nice one.
He built houses for Habitat for Humanity
No,
now.
not that
No,
one.
not that one. That was
Okay.
Carter. We're looking for Lyndon B. Johnson.
that's right.
All right, we got to take a break. They're going to reset. We're going to towel them off. We'll be right back here on Studio 13 Live.
Great. What are you worried about?
Hi, welcome back to Studio 13 Live. It's Jody and Bender
Yeah, we took over.
crashing their set. Mariah and Carly were playing Puget Sound Showdown, which is a show that we play every morning, 7:45 on 95.7 The Jet. And so far, Mariah unfortunately took game 1.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did.
getting crushed so
I
far.
could not believe it.
Don't you want to root for the underdog here?
I thought you just let me win, girl. I
It's
was
typically
nervous.
north versus south where the battle lines are drawn at the 520 floating bridge. So Mariah from Snohomish County, Carly, King County.
Yep.
We're going to play again. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
Let's do
sure?
it.
You
Yep.
can do it.
Here we go. Before playing in the building that they're in now, where did the Mariners play?
A different stadium.
Unfortunately, we can
I cannot take that. Carly, you can steal it. Where did the Mariners play before where they're playing now? Kingdom.
I don't know.
Kingdom.
Kingdom?
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
The Kingdom.
Kingdom.
The Kingdom. Here we go.
Darn you. I've been here for 3 months.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the name of the dog on a Family Guy?
Brian.
Very
That
good.
is correct.
What's Spanish for money?
Dinero.
Gotcha.
This.
2-0
That was a
second
softball
game.
question.
In the movie Finding Nemo, what's Nemo's dad's name?
Oh. Marlin. I don't even remember the plots of movies after I watched them.
Marlon, very good.
What's the answer?
At what temperature in Fahrenheit does water boil?
100?
That's what I said.
Carly.
210 degrees.
Ooh, 212.
Oh,
You can give it to her. That's
Okay.
good.
All right.
That was
It's like
good.
playing horseshoes. It's not exact wrong or right answers, but you know
So
what?
it's
So kind.
2-1.
It's 2 to
now.
1.
2-1.
Yep.
Here we go. Who was the first vice president of the United States of America?
You guys
First
know
vice
this?
president.
Thomas Jefferson?
Nope.
Nope.
Carly, you can steal it.
I have no idea.
Anybody? Adams. Very good.
Our floor staff is really smart.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
You guys should be competing in this,
They're not on the
us.
hot seat.
What shape is a UFC ring?
Circle? It's a ring, right?
Oh, I know.
That is
An
not
octagon.
An octagon. Very good. That's
right.
3
thinking of a
to
ring.
3 to 1.
3-1. What rock?
Wait, you gotta reset it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What rock icon has a statue outside Mopop?
I'm trying
Yeah,
to think.
Jimi Hendrix?
Nope.
Oh, that's on Capitol Hill. You can see it.
Oh.
You can see it.
Oh.
Floor staff?
We're looking for Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
That's
Chris
right.
Cornell.
3 to 1 still.
3-1.
President H.W. Bush. What did the HW stand for?
Herbert Walker?
Very
Yeah.
good.
Wow.
4 to 1.
That's 4-1. How does The Gettysburg Address begin.
Welcome.
Welcome to my address. Yes, ma'am.
7 years ago.
Very good.
5-1.
Very good.
5-1.
I will be playing that on the air tomorrow. I just want you to know. Totally fine.
My TED Talk.
For the one, the game's only going to 5 because we've only got 30 seconds left.
That's how I would start it.
What does the dot? What's the dot above a lowercase I called?
The dot, an umlaut?
Nope. Carly, you can steal it.
No idea.
It's called a tittle.
Moving
20
on.
seconds left.
Titillating.
All right, ready? Final one.
Okay.
Kevin Costner stars in what TV Western? Yeah, girl.
Yellowstone.
Very good. All right, we got time for one more. In a deck of cards, what's the only king without a mustache? Carly.
The club.
Nope.
Nope.
Hearts?
Very good. For the game.
Nice.
We're going to be right back after this with food. Yay!
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight some amazing food in our area.
And today we are joined by Taylor Thornhill with Beto. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you're in Capitol Hill.
That's correct.
You've been there since 2015. Have you been with the restaurant the whole time?
I have. I was the opening chef of the restaurant and still going strong.
That's incredible.
So Beto, which I had to double check on the pronunciation because I don't speak French, but it is French.
It is French.
For boat.
It is
Tell me
the
about
French word
the
for boat.
reason behind that.
One of the owners, Renee Erickson, owned a restaurant before called Boat Street. And so as she was kind of closing that restaurant down and we were opening, she wanted to kind of continue with the same theme, both restaurant name and concept.
So you guys really have an interesting sort of vibe in the restaurant. It's beautiful. I've seen the photos. I'm excited to visit. But you also have an in-house whole animal butchery and you have a dry aging program. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so every week we buy an entire animal and we dry it. It's been aged for 21 days before we receive it. And then we also have a room on site that you mentioned, glass windowed, so you can see it from the dining room. And so everything that we're doing is on full display. So
awesome. You guys make some wonderful steaks, but tell us about what we're making today.
yeah, we're gonna make a couple different versions of steak tartare. So it's eating raw meat. And so we can talk a little bit about how to compose it, a great way to serve it if you're having some friends over or something like that. I think it's a great dish in that way. So.
All right.
So we have a cut from the leg. This is the top round. So when you're making steak tartare, it's not important that you have the most tender cut necessarily. Some people may think filet mignon or something like that would work well, but you can just as easily use a cut out of the leg. It's more economical, a little more affordable in that way, and has really good flavor, which is important. So.
Now, while you're chopping here, you have
sure.
to tell us, though. I feel like some people get nervous with the idea, even if they're meat eaters, eating raw meat. So how is this different?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to, talk to that a little bit, try to help people overcome that. Yeah. So I think the biggest, most important thing is obviously understanding where the meat came from and getting comfortable with the people who are selling you the meat, so you have confidence that you can eat it raw and, won't have any bad effects. So. Here we just have a couple pieces that have already been sliced. It's easiest to do this if the meat is super cold, so you can pop this in your freezer for a little bit, and you're just gonna dice it. So strips and then finer dice.
It always makes me nervous when people chop with these big knives. You gotta tuck the fingers, right? That's what I hear.
Yeah,
tuck
for
the
sure.
fingers.
So essentially you're looking for small cubes of meat that are gonna be easy to chew. So we already have some done, so we'll be able to put this on the tray here.
So with the definition of steak tartare being just you can have any meat raw, like what makes the difference between having it served and having it just come right out of your fridge?
So the steak tartare, is a pretty classic, iconic French dish in which you're taking raw meat, adding some seasonings. It's pretty traditional to have a raw egg yolk on top as well. You mix that in and then eat it with something salty, crunchy, either toasted bread, some potato chips. In this case, we have some tapioca chips. So.
But I think to Bender's point, we were always told, don't eat this raw and don't eat raw eggs.
Yeah, I think culturally, America specifically has a lot of concern around food. It's important to be safe, obviously. We can all get sick by eating food.
Today, maybe.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
He knows
This is the classy stuff.
Yeah, this is the good stuff.
Yeah, this is the good stuff. So we're going to add a few things to it, though.
Yeah,
Tell
so
me
at
about
this
that.
point, you're just thinking about this. This is, you're seasoning it like a meatloaf. Maybe you could think about it that way. So at the restaurant, we have both Bateau, and then right next door, we have our sister restaurant called Boat Bar. So I'm going to show you the two different versions we serve there. Boat Bar version is going to start with some fermented parsley stems, some raw minced shallot. We'll add a little bit of salt, some whole grain mustard that we make in-house. This is beef garum, so you can think of this as like a soy sauce, but made with beef instead of soybeans. A little rendered beef fat, since we have a lot of that around the restaurant.
So you guys really want to use everything, really, that you can.
I mean, that's really what we set out to do. This is mustard seed oil, so just cold pressed mustard seed oil. And we'll give this a good mix. So you just want to be thorough here, incorporating all the ingredients, making sure it's seasoned.
Now, I know you have a second dish to show us. We do only have about a minute left, so I think we'll do that on Instagram, but I definitely want to be able to try this.
Yeah, we'll finish this up and get it on the plate for you. So once you have a cohesive mass, put that on the plate. So this is where the classic part comes in. Get your hands dirty a little bit. Grab an egg yolk. It's kind of fun. Get all the white off of there. Put that right on top. Season with a little flake salt.
Beautiful.
And then at the restaurant, we're going to put the potato chips on the side.
Yeah. We hear the folks in production. They are potato chips. Can I dig in?
You may, yeah.
Oh,
So we have the chips there. We have spoons for you on either side.
Nice.
Let's
So
hear.
breaking the yolk and incorporating it into the tartare.
Taylor, thank you so much for
My
coming
pleasure.
by. You can
It's
find this recipe on our
beautiful.
website. See you tomorrow.
Thanks to Jody and Bender, too, guys.